here. We are here. It's your boy, the coach, with your boy, Chunder Boy. Welcome back to the Coaches Huddle, where the field meets family. And we are here for another scheduled installment of the Neutral Zone. I got my boy, Chunder Boy, right here next to me. And don't look now, man, but we're 9, 10, and
10.
4. And 4. It feels good. Damon, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing awesome, bro. I'm 4 wins away from a brand new lawnmower. Sorry, 3 wins.
I got
3 wins
pay
away.
this dude. Hey, look, so here goes the deal, man. Look, they are over here trying their best to get me to buy this man a 0-turn lawnmower.
They're trying.
They trying, bro. We got 3 games left, man. Hey, look, listen. If we go 13-4, it'll be good money spent. You might as well start looking now. We got a bet in the chat where I owe Chunder Boy a 0-turn premium riding lawnmower for that beautiful piece of land that he has down there in Georgia. And you know what? I'll be glad to pay it. If we lose, if I lose this bet and we go 13-4, I'll tell you this right now, I got us losing 1 of the 3. All right, but look, look,
I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope.
Hey man, look, I got you. I want you to get it. Listen, it is what it is, and you know if you do, it'll be earned. It'll be earned. Tell me this right now before we get into anything. I know we got a lot of topics. Just give me your overall synopsis of 10 wins, right? I have this thing where I have a revolving topic that I choose every guest for every show. And it's just the overarching topic of where we are. And, you know, it's kind of like the lead of where everything stands right now, particularly with us in the season. And you cannot ignore what we were at the beginning of the season, all of the prognosis on what we felt about the draft, the guys that had to play immediately, the rookies that had to play right away, Alfred Collins, Michael Williams, who was then with us at the time, finding out what we were going to do with the receiving core. Brandon Ayuk then was somebody who we were holding our breath and crossing our fingers for to get back. We have a chat full of discussions on when Brandon Ayuk was going to be back, when he was going to be healthy. Then the defense, right, completely retooled. Coach Sorensen is jettisoned. We bring in Coach Sala, who's first year, but not really, defensive coordinator for us, and what he was going to do with some new faces and some familiar faces to see how it's all gone down, right? The Mac Jones saga, right? All of this.
That was wild.
That was wild.
It seems like it's so long ago, but that shit happened last month.
Mac Jones seems like eons ago, Damon. It's absolutely ridiculous. But let me put it like this. With all of that done, and for us to be standing at 10-4, all right, holding and controlling our own destiny, right? What do you have to say about us being 10 wins in?
I'd say that Kyle Shanahan is doing his best to drag me back to the light. And I would say that this team has restored some faith for me and just overall organizational ability to put a good team on the field year after year. Because one of the things about the NFL that sort of gets overlooked is its constant adversity. Every single team, every single year deals with injuries, deals with player issues. There's like in free agency, you don't get the guy that you wanted. So now you have to scramble. Now you have to draft a guy too high. Like every single team in the NFL goes through stuff like this. So for the 49ers to go into a season expecting to have to coach their ass off to get anywhere because they're going to overturn huge portions of the roster and to still come out the other side of it, though we're not quite out the other side, looking this good and having this many wins, it is so exciting. This is a great season to be a 49er fan. There's so much to be excited about. There's still so many things that we can question and say, well, why isn't this fixed? It's week 15. Why is this still a problem? And it's a great time to be a 49er fan. And lastly, they're giving us hope week after week after week in a season that didn't seem like there was going to be a whole lot of that. And I appreciate them for never letting us down when it comes to having drama-filled seasons.
Hey, well, look, that was beautiful. You know, I really wanted to play I wanted to play like just some music to that. It was awesome. You know, I'll tell you this. There's so many superlatives that you could put on this season.
Yeah.
But it's time to get back to business.
Yeah.
Okay? It's time. It's time to start talking about who this show is revolved around. You know who you represent. It's time to talk about your man, okay? So look, let's get straight into it. Saving Private Purdy, all right? Let's get into it. So with what we got right now with the first topic, I really want you to go there. Brock Purdy looked fully back, but did the bye save his season? Now, I gave you this topic. You added on, did the bye save not only his season, but his career? Coming off the bye, Brock Purdy looked as comfortable as he's been all season. He throws for 295 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, and adds real mobility with his legs off the toe that didn't look like an issue at all. The ball came out on time, and the confidence was obvious. The question now isn't how he played. It's whether the bye week reset him, or if this was just a 1-week bump against a bad team. What say you?
I'd say that if you want to say it's a 1-week bump against a bad team, well, they've played several bad teams. It wasn't a 1 week. I mean, Carolina's not that much better. Carolina's kind of a mid-level team this year. He threw 3 picks against them. It's not like their defense is just top of the league.
You're getting defensive.
No, so I say all that to say, based on what Brock Purdy himself has said about the things that they talked about going into the Cleveland game, how he responded in that game with 7 throwaways, having a clear mindset of protecting the football and playing within the scheme, then taking a bye week, reevaluating, coming back out, having another interview where he talks about similar things. Then he comes out in this game and does another terrific job of taking what the defense gives him. He had a couple of throwaways in this game as well, several incredible scrambles, and it seems like Brock kind of has hit the reset button. Some of the things that he was doing so well early on in his career that he got away from, or you could even say got derailed off of during the 2024 season with all the adversity, it seems as though he's gotten not just hit the reset button on playing efficient, effective quarterback, but it seems as though he's gotten some of his moxie and his swagger back that he seemed to have lost throughout the last 10 or 15 games. And I think that's maybe the most critical thing, because when you play quarterback, confidence is one of the most important attributes that a quarterback has. You have to be able to go out there and throw a pick or two and then still have the confidence to rip the tight window ball late in the fourth quarter when your team needs you to make a great play. So Brock Purdy getting that confidence back, getting that swagger back, having the self-awareness to go self-scout himself and say, you know what, maybe I need to take a step back. I need to stop forcing. It just might be that this series of games up to and including the bye week may have reset Brock.
Hold on, man. Wait a minute. What do you mean may have reset Brock?
I think that part of what happened in
he was off?
Yeah, he clearly has been off.
Brock was off.
So I think one of the things that happened in 2024 is Brock's clock got sped up. Or maybe not even sped up is the right word. His clock got thrown off. So the first 5 or 6 games of that season, nobody's getting open. The offensive line is not doing a great job protecting him. And it seemed as though by about week 5, week 6, he started feeling like he started bailing on pockets too early. And he starts to throw the ball off timing, off rhythm. He's forcing a ball on first down when there's no freaking reason to force a ball into double coverage and things like that. It seems like his mental processing and the speed at which he was playing the game just got thrown off a bit. And so this year, he seemed to be kind of getting it back a little bit, but he was still being too inconsistent, still floating some balls here and there. Some of that maybe has contributed to injury. It's hard to throw a ball accurately when your toe is jacked up. I know that sounds like an excuse, but that's a fact. And so when you combine all those things, he's finally getting healthy. He did some self-scouting and had a chance to kind of sit back and look at it all. Maybe he really did hit the reset button. Only time will tell. I think that's why these next 3 games are so critical for him, not just this season, but for his career.
You're jumping ahead. That's not Saving Private Purdy, okay? Listen.
Foreshadowing. I'm foreshadowing, Coach.
We're in a position right now where because what Brock has gotten paid, there's an expectation for him to beat the bad teams. And it's so what's the analogy I can give for this? You're married, right? Mm-hmm. I have a strong significant other. All right, she's in the next room. Yeah, we're gonna get married. But look,
is she watching you holding a knife?
Hey, look, hey, just calm down, man, before you get me in trouble, dog. Calm down. Look, all I'm saying is that you're married. You're married. I'm going to get married. All right. So look, she is. Get out of here. All right. So look. So here goes the deal. When you are in a certain relationship with somebody, all right, and there's an investment there, you're not going to get a pat on the head every time you take out the trash.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get a gold star for doing the laundry or taking out the dog or mowing the lawn. That's kind of your job description for being the man of the home. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, that's how I look at Brock winning games against a very maligned Titans defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I look at that. Yeah. I don't look at it from a position of everything counts, so let's assess it, right? I look at it from a standpoint of, you're the man of your house, Chunder Boy. What gets you the Victoria's Secret, baby? Taking out the trash or paying that mortgage? Paying that mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually handling business to keep the roof over our heads. I feel the same way that you should look the same way at quarterbacks. You really should, from a position of like, look, I'm going to give you credit when you are paying the bills, man, not when you taking out the trash, not when you doing something that we're supposed to be looking at. So I don't know. That's just how I feel. How do you feel about it?
No, I mean, you're making a really good point. We shouldn't give Brock too much praise for doing the things he's supposed to be doing. You get praise when you do more. You do praise when you elevate guys that are around you and so on and so forth. I totally agree with processing it that way. I think that that's why I think it's so important moving forward for Brock to continue to play well, because if this can't be a one-off, if this game is a one-off, if it was just a bad team, then that bodes really ill for the entire organization, because going back into the quarterback carousel in a year or two because Brock isn't the guy, that's terrible for the entire organization. We should all be hoping that what he did against the Titans wasn't just because it was the Titans.
No, I mean, look, I'll put it like this. At this stage of Brock's career, are you still in a wait-and-see mode with him?
No. I'm in a...
Come on, son.
I need to see you do it consistently. I've seen you do it. I know it's there, and I've seen it this year. But last year, you showed long stretches of not what we're looking for. So I need you to string together several games this season where you show me you're back on track. You got off track from 2024, and there's a huge swath in the middle of his career at this point where he got off track. It seems as though this season has gotten him back on track, and the Purdy that we paid $50+ million to is back. We got him back. And I'm not just talking about this game. I'm talking about the decisions, the offensive efficiency, the red zone efficiency, and all sorts of other things that Brock has done well when he has played this year. I've pointed out multiple times. I got laughed at when I talked about he played well in other games. And the reason I was pointing that out is because it was showing a clear trend of Brock getting back on track and doing the things that made me feel like he's a legit franchise quarterback in the first place.
Yeah, but so you have to wait.
I think he's back on track. No, I think he's back on track.
You know I'm trying to get you to say it.
I know. I think he's back on track. I don't need to see more.
What track is that? When's the last time you've seen that track?
I've been seeing it all season.
Hold on. Not back on the tracks, but back on track. So being back on the tracks is you're off. You fell off the tracks. Now we got you back on. But that doesn't mean that we don't roll you down the block or roll you down another 50 feet and you don't fall back again. So fall off the tracks again. So Brock getting back on track, all right, is a whole different ball game from him being on the tracks. So hear me out.
Brock Purdy was on the interstate. I mean, cruising, whipping in and out. And then the Ravens.
When was this?
The Ravens,
when was this?
The Ravens' big old double-decker bus came and pushed his ass to an off-ramp, and he had to swerve out of the way.
So, wait a minute. So right now, just in, you are here telling us that the Ravens game in 2023, that was when that game was, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was when Brock Purdy got knocked off track.
No. I'm saying that was the initial instance where Brock is not just cruising down the highway anymore. Then playoffs come, he sort of gets back on, but he's kind of he's not really back out on the fast lane, but he's back on the highway. The offseason comes around, so on and so forth, 2024 season, and there's nothing but car crashes everywhere around him. And he's just trying to cruise down the highway, and he can't. Now he had to get off. He had to get off on this exit. Now he's just gotten back on the freeway, and he's back on track cruising down the freeway again.
Dog, do you understand? I love you, man. You my guy.
I tried to make the most ridiculous analogy possible. Did I succeed?
You my guy, bro. Like, do you see?
I don't understand what there is to explain. He's back on track.
You don't see what there is to explain.
What are you
talking about?
What I mean is,
see how much
he clearly got off track in 2024, and now he's back on track. The contortionist
act that you have to pull off to explain Brock Purdy being back on, off on and off track is insane.
I was being
full stop. Hold on. All right, full stop. Gun to your head.
Mm-hmm.
Would you trust Brock Purdy with the ball in his hands if your life depended on it?
What are my other options? Do I get to choose Mahomes instead?
You get to choose whoever you want.
Then no, give me Tom Brady. Like what are you talking about? No, so the point of the analogy that I was having a little bit of fun with it. Is clearly at some point Brock got off track. He was not processing this well. It got sped up or slowed down depending on what you're trying to talk about. To me, he's been getting back on track all season. And the last couple of games, especially in this game, he clearly has gotten back on track.
Look, man. Conversations like this make me look like I'm a Brock hater, bro. Like I don't.
Because you are a Brock hater.
I'm not.
You're a Brock Purdy hater as much as I am the world's biggest Brock fan. I like the guy. I support him. But I'm not the world's biggest Brock Purdy supporter.
Hold on. That's crazy. I don't have that much time to dislike somebody. For you to say that look at my man Scott, yo, he had to throw that.
Right.
I'm confident enough to put this on my platform, bro. I wear size 15. It doesn't fit.
It does not.
All right. It does not fit. The shoe does not fit. So number one, there's no way in the world that I dislike Brock as much as you like him, bro. Don't make me go there, bro. With the discussions that we've had, how we have got, dude, our friendship took a pause for a year over Brock Purdy, dog. And you were wrong.
It was like 3 months.
And you were wrong.
We were both wrong, sir, depending on how you approach that.
What? All right,
I was
bro.
wrong. I was wrong about Brock in that situation.
And Lamar Jackson.
Oh, totally.
All right, then. Look, the deal is that I if you're still in a wait and see mode with the quarterback, he hasn't necessarily won you over. I think that we are still in a wait and see mode with Brock. I believe that he has toned down. He has toned down his command of the offense. He's taking what the defense is giving him. One thing that's helping us out that has changed everything. This could be good and bad, but we saw the good side of it is that the mobility seems to be right back where it needs to be, right? So Brock is moving with ease behind the line of scrimmage.
Seems to be healthy. Yeah, for sure.
Seems to be healthy. So I can speak this way about Brock and just keep the main thing, all right? However, you saw them passes. Them things was floating out there. They was floating all over the place. So, hey, look, we got to see what he's going to do with the next 3 games of the season. And that actually takes us into the next topic, the rule of 3. All right. This is a topic that you came up with that I want you to lead. All right. Are the next 3 games the most important for Brock Purdy's career? All right. You have brought this up. Brock Purdy has the resume, the wins, and now at 10-4, now a 10-4 record backing him up. But this stretch might define him more than anything before. These next 3 games aren't about surviving or managing. They're about command, consistency, and answering playoff level questions. The margin for error shrinks, the opponents get tougher, and the evaluations get louder. This isn't about stats anymore. It's about whether Brock looks like the guy when everything tightens up. Will the 49ers finally be will Brock Purdy finally be the reason why the 49ers win and not the other way around? Talk to me. I wrote this for you.
That's why you did great, actually.
Thanks. Thank you.
I didn't realize how you put all that together.
Don't be so nonchalant. Chalant me. I want chalantness. Chalant me. Don't be nonchalant. Chalant away.
So, first of all, thank you for that incredible introduction.
Thank you.
Into my topic. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I think that everything in Brock Purdy's career so far is leading to this. So we have the storybook highs from Mr. Irrelevant to MVP candidate in 16 games. Mm-hmm. And then we have the fall off the cliff. And everybody who thought it was fool's gold, trampling that man in a stampede. And everybody who thought it was not fool's gold, trying to figure out how to pick him up off the mat as quickly as possible. And now where we're at is we have a season where we have both ends of the spectrum. We have him playing on a team that has the same type of talent that most of the teams in the NFL, the good teams, have. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have an all-star cast around him, but he's got it's not like there's nobody. The receiver core is one of the worst in football, but he still has George Kittle. He still has Trent Williams. He still has CMC. He's not out there by himself.
He's got
we get to see what Brock Purdy looks like with kind of a standard cast on a good team in the NFL. And more importantly, we get to see what he looks like healthy. Because if he gets healthy or is getting healthy, the next 3 games are against playoff caliber teams. All these teams are going to be in the playoffs, although obviously Indy has the quarterback issue. But
they're really, yeah.
Okay, but still, these next 3 games are against playoff caliber teams, and they're 4 seeding and position. They have a chance to get a 1 seed if they win out. I think it's 65% or whatever it is if they went out to get the 1 seed. And so he's under a lot of pressure to win because of where the team is at. He is playing with good talent, but not great talent. His defense it's fine, but he doesn't have an all-world defense either. So his supporting cast in that way is also not exceptional. If he goes out there and he balls and he gets the job done, even if they lose, but it's not because of him, we can feel comfortable that we've got a quarterback who can get the job done. If he goes out there in the next 3 games and exposes himself and makes it clear that the only reason that Titans game looked like that is the Titans game is because it was the Titans, and the only reason he looked good against the Panthers and the Browns because it was the Panthers and the Browns, and he got a lot of help from special teams against the Browns, right? You can make all sorts of cases as to why he played well. So these next 3 games are going to solidify his entire career, because if he plays well, they go into the playoffs and win a playoff game, everybody's going to remember Brock Purdy for being the guy who took an injury-riddled team that everybody wrote off preseason to the divisional round or even the NFC Championship game. If he loses the next 3 games, then he's going to be the team that limped into the playoffs after the rest of the team clawed and fought and dug to get them in that position, and then he let them down, and they're one and done in the playoffs. So these next 3 games are not just going to define this season. They're going to define who Brock is as a quarterback and how people view him moving forward for the rest of his career.
The biggest thing for me isn't the next 3 games, but it's the game that matters. And to me, there's only one game that truly matters. Seahawks. I don't care about the Browns, the Bears. Yeah. I don't care about Indy. Indy's a dead man walking. It's going to be a tough fought game.
I care about the Bears a little, but not Indy.
Indy is more of a game to talk about the defense and stopping the run game. Yeah. As far as the Bears are concerned, that's the 24th ranked defense in the NFL. All right. We understand that they're young and they're a live body. I tend to believe that's going to be more of a coaching battle than it is Brock actually trying to beat the Bears. I do believe that they're talented at many spots. They got a ton of youth. But right now, just from what Kyle has been doing to inexperienced defenses, we've always been able to not only slow the clock down and play time of possession, but also dominate the line of scrimmage. One thing that I will say is that the run game is still struggling, but the offense line is playing at a higher tick because I believe that Kyle is scheming some things up right for them. The biggest game for me right now is the Seahawks. That's the 4th-ranked defense in the NFL. They're young. Yeah. They know us. They got an offensive coordinator that comes from our enclave as far as the wide zone offensive scheme, and they know exactly what we're trying to do. This is also a team that has vested interest in whooping our ass because they felt like we got away with one in week 1.
We did get away with one.
We did get away with one in week 1. I'll just ask you right now. Was the Brock Purdy touchdown at the end of week 1 a pick?
No, because our guy caught it. I don't want to hear all that ifs and buts. At the end of the day, he put the ball up for his guy to go get it, and his guy went and got it. That's part of playing quarterback.
This is why I can't with you, man. This is why I can't with you. Anyway.
Sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it doesn't.
Look. Come on, man. The chat knows what's up. So, look.
Exactly. He's on my side.
Oh, look. Steve-O don't want us to grow. Steve-O is such an old, triggered, get off my lawn type of guy.
Yeah, click the next one, because Coach is triggered.
Dog, Steve-O doesn't want me to have fun. Steve-O doesn't want me to wear the same shirt. Steve-O doesn't want me to have any type of mistakes. He wants to come on my channel and tell me exactly how my topics need to be. He tells me when to move on. He is the worst supporter of all time. And I wouldn't have it any other way. People ask me all the time, who the hell is this Steve-O guy in your chat? Why don't you just block this asshole? And I tell you, I'm like, dude, Steve-O is like good bacteria, okay? You need gut health. You know what I mean? Steve-O is the probiotic of this channel, all right? So we love you, Steve-O. We love you. We love you like we love Kefir, all right? So, look, I'll tell you this. It is the Seahawks game for me. That's the game where I'm really looking for what Brock is going to do. And really, if you say like, oh, well, coach, you know, you're kind of pot shotting, you're only looking at one game specifically, you know, he should be gearing up for the Seahawks game. You know, not just me, you know, not They need to be ready to go against a defense that's trying to close out the season for us. I'll tell you this right now. There are implications where we could fuck around in that last game, dog. I'm trying to tell you. That last game could be one that we need to win, and it's going to all be on Brock. I'm telling you.
So one of the reasons I think these 3 games are so critical is because of the way these 3 games specifically match up. So first game, we have a 44-year-old has-been quarterback. Brock has no excuse. Outscore him. Okay, so if our defense doesn't do a great job against the run, I don't give a shit. But Brock Purdy, go outscore the 44-year-old grandpa that's literally up for the Hall of Fame this year. Next game, Chicago, you got the young guy. You got the young gunslinger. You have the Kyle Shanahan 2.0 as the coach, right? Their defense is probably not that much worse than ours is. You got to go out there and show that you're still better than that next group coming up. And then in the last game of the season, you have a real test right before the playoffs to find out if this offense really is playoff ready against, as you said, a top 5 defense, against a coach that knows our system and how to beat it, and against a team that turns the ball over, and that tends to be the Achilles heel for Brock Purdy at times. So this 3 games sets up to be a test for Brock to just kind of check all the boxes that we need checked going into the playoffs. Are we ready? And is Brock actually back on track? And is he the real deal? Or are we going to be back in the quarterback carousel in 2 years?
All right, look. I had a real good time with Mac Jones. It was fun.
I know you did.
And
he's from Alabama too.
It was.
You were loving it.
I was untenable.
If y'all only knew the screaming matches we had behind the scenes.
I was insufferable.
Insufferable.
There was no way. But I do believe that they're locked in for Brock. This is his team. They just signed the guy.
Yeah.
Also, another thing, and I know this may not seem like it matters much, but with the recent developments of Brandon Ayuk, this team can't afford any type of like shifting of big contracts. And I understand that from a fan standpoint, it's like, yo, man, get the money back, do what you need to do, move on. But that doesn't bode well for guys coming into your building, man, especially the guys that are already there, the locker room, getting guys paid, actually like staying loyal to guys. That matters. Not to say that the Niners weren't loyal to Brandon Ayuk, because that whole situation is a whole nother saga within of itself. We don't even have another show for that.
Yeah, that's a whole show on its own.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say that John Lynch, man, it's coming out that John Lynch is kind of like holding the smoking gun on this one. It was a big horn locking of what John Lynch and what Brandon Ayuk wanted. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But to get back into the subject, I think that there's things that we could do that would help us.
I think that the 49ers are going to need a lot of help if they're going to do anything, and if they're going to go on any sort of a magical run, whether that's NFC Championship game or further. The defense is going to have to play a style of defense where it's a bend but don't break. They're going to have to make critical plays in critical situations. You look at the Rams game with Alfred Collins knocking that ball out at the 1 yard line. The reason that's such an impactful play is not just because it was on the 1 yard line. It's not just because Alfred Collins made a crazy play on what was a clear touchdown. It's because it was at a critical moment in the game. If he had done that in the first quarter, or if he had done that when the 49ers are down 3 touchdowns, the play wouldn't have really mattered. It would just been a cool play. It would have been a good play. But it wouldn't have been a critical moment in this season. So we're going to have players who are young, who are not household names, make big plays in critical moments, and we're going to have some things bounce our way. We're going to need a tip ball to bounce right to one of our guys, and they actually catch it. We're going to need a fumble to squirt out and bounce our way. We're going to need one of our fumbles to not bounce to the other team, so on and so forth. Because this team isn't good enough to just run through everybody, but we have enough. If we can just get a few things to go our way, A bad call, maybe. I'm not going to complain about any of the officiating that goes our way this offseason. The karma that we have built up this offseason with all the adversity, if we get a call that goes our way, we earned it. For the last 17 games, we earned it. So I just think that there's a chance the 49ers could do something magical, but that's not going to happen without some help.
Definitely. Let's get into our next topic. No, matter of fact, we got some super chats. Let's kind of get into that real quickly. Super dupers. All right. I thought we had super chats.
Bro, Pterodome getting it done in the comments.
Pterodome's my guy, bro.
What up,
Pterodome's
Pterodome?
an OG, bro. He's a dog. I got to get a call-in show going too. I thought we had. There they go. There it is. All right. Alan Ziggs 999. Thank you. What is going to be your reaction when JT goes for 200? And when is your next open mic? Who's JT?
Jonathan Taylor. Colts running back.
I'm a snap, like I always do. What are we?
He is going to snap literally live on the cat when that dude's running for 50.
Yeah, bro. When the game, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't know what it is, but I go into games saying like, man, we're gonna lose this game. I don't know what it is. When the ball gets rolled out,
you pessimistic ass over there.
When the ball gets rolled out, I just love to see good football being played by my side. That's it. I don't even care who we playing. So I don't care what Taylor does. I really do think that the Niners, we do have a great rallying defense. The guys fly to the ball. One thing about a Robert Saleh defense, they're going to play together. And we're going to beat the Colts. I'm calling it. We're going to beat the Colts. And it's nothing to call, honestly. I think that they're very one-dimensional, and we better not lose to fucking Phillip Rivers. I wish, come on, man. So, look. And then also my next open mic is going to be this weekend. I just brought that up on the last call. I'm on the last live that I did. It's been long overdue. I got to get back to my peoples. That was one of the strongest shows on this platform were the call-in shows. So we're going to get the call-in shows going. They're going to be really fun too. We're going to have you guys in the studio, throw up music, throw up time. We're going to have Steve-O. Steve-O, you need to get in these call-in shows.
Yes.
Right? We're going to have a really good time. Also, Alan Ziggs became a YouTube member. Thank you, guys. Also, tomorrow, don't forget about the 3 Deep show that's coming on for the new members. Also, we have another super from Alan Ziggs. Would you be most mad? Who would you be most mad at if it happens?
If what happens?
If he goes for 200.
Oh.
It depends on who's missing tackles. You know, it depends on who's getting ran out their gap.
It's probably going to end up being the D-line getting ran out of their gaps.
I love that offensive line, man. That Colts offensive line.
It's so good.
It's nasty, bro. I'm saying, all right, so let's get into our next topic. Speaking of, you know what? Let's get into this.
Okay.
Built in Santa Clara, bro. I've been waiting to talk to you about this. You know, no. Run game woes.
Yeah, we got to touch this.
Let's go to the run game. All right. So, basically, the run game is struggling. And we got to figure out exactly what we're going to do going into the playoffs. And, you know, when we talk about going deep into the playoffs or even playoff football, it's 2 things that you got to bring. You got to bring your run game with you. You got to be able to stop the run. So let's just go over the numbers as they stand right now. All right. The 49ers ranked 25th in the NFL with 1,419 total rushing yards off of 404 attempts. They're averaging 3.5 yards. They're averaging 3.5 yards per carry. That ranks 31st in the NFL. They've only scored 12 rushing touchdowns this season, which ranks 18th in the NFL. Christian McCaffrey, out of 259 rushing attempts, has 922 rushing yards, giving him 3.56 per carry and only 9 rushing touchdowns this season. He accounts for 65% of the team's rushing yards. Brian Robinson is 349 rushing yards off of 81 attempts with 4.31 rushing yards per carry. Only 2 rushing touchdowns. He surmises for 25% of the team's overall rushing production. All right. Now, if you take out of the rushes, the 23 rushing attempts by Brock Purdy, the 33 rushing attempts by Mac Jones, and some other miscellaneous runs that happened throughout the season, it basically comes down to 259 carries for Christian McCaffrey and 81 carries for Brian Robinson Jr. That's 340 total carries. Of that split, it's 76% to 23%. That's roughly 3-1. We got to do better.
For sure.
We got to. It's in the numbers. Brian Robinson Jr. needs to be playing more. Talk to me about the run game.
So the only reason the run game hasn't been more of a conversation this season is because the quarterbacks, both Brock and Mac, have been bailing them out by consistently converting 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. They're consistently doing a good job on 3rd downs, and because the special teams is doing a good job of not letting those, when they don't get that 3rd down, the special teams is doing a great job with field position, so it doesn't hurt us as bad as it can when you can't run the ball. Because at the end of the day, not running the ball means you're not getting any sort of field position. You're not controlling the clock. You're not controlling the game. You're not controlling the flow of the game. That's what, and so the 49ers, they have almost always been the team that controls the game. They control the flow of the game and stuff like that. This year, they've been able to win games without being in control of the game script. And that's been primarily because the quarterbacks have done a terrific job in critical situations, 3rd downs, 4th downs. And because the one thing that the running game has done is they have moved the ball in short yardage situations better this year than they have previously. And since George Kittle has come back, we went from 0 red zone touchdowns to I think we have, 7 now? And, no, I'm sorry, 7 goal line touchdowns, 12 red zone touchdowns. So the 49ers offense rushing the ball has totally changed when George Kittle came back, and now it's at least good enough to keep a defense honest, but it still isn't good enough. I was hoping that you could tell us, what is it about this run game? We have a whole season now almost of sample size. Why it's not just Christian McCaffrey is sucks and he washed, because he's had some good games. He's looked okay at times and stuff. So it's not just that, even if that might be a piece of it. So what else is going on that makes this run game just not work this year?
Oh, man. Well, let's get into it, buddy. So, look. The reason why the run game is struggling is it's really simple if you start from the very beginning, which is we don't have the bodies and we don't prioritize the offensive line. Good running games do not need to have $90 million contracted running backs. Good running games do not need to have geniuses at the offensive coordinator position and at the head coach position. These are nice to haves, honestly. Running the football is a core tenet of football, okay? It's one of the things that you're supposed to do before you even talk about what direction you want to bring your team in. You have to be able to run the ball. And how you do that is scouting the position right. I talked about this yesterday with Jesse. Guard play, interior offensive line play, all right? It is imperative that you have interior offensive line play because it talks to the core of the game, the middle of the line of scrimmage. The shortest path from north to south is A to B, straightforward. Not running outside zone, not running 15 yards to gain 5, not toss crack, not all this other pretty shit, but it is getting north and south. It is getting downhill, all right? Look at what the best teams that run the ball do. They may not have the best tackles, all right? They may not have a Trent Williams, who was amazing. They may not have a Joe Staley, who was amazing, but they got guards. Even in our best offensive line days, Sopolu, guards. Michael Purdy, guards. Okay, we were bringing in guys that could actually move the line of scrimmage. Also, another thing with being able to do that, it's a quick, easy button on short yardage plays. All right, it takes certain guys out of the game. To be quite honest with you, all right, when you prioritize the interior offensive line, it takes corners out of the game. It takes edges and ends out of the game. It takes outside linebackers out of the game. All right, if you got 3 dudes up front and a fullback and an H-back that can get north and south. 3rd and 1, not a problem. 2nd and short, not a problem. First and short, not a problem. Goal line, you better bring your lunch hat. All right. Even if you have the bodies to go against what we have up front, we can still build off of that because that's still a strength for us. Mm-hmm. We don't have a nuclear reactor of this team, which is supposed to and has always been the offensive line. We don't do it. We don't prioritize it, and we will always try to scheme around it. And good on Kyle. Good on Kyle for scheming around it. Truly, I am not mad at that.
He really gets it done as far as scheming around it. He really does.
Yeah, good on him. Like, the fact that he knows how to scheme this up the right way, be able to create different leverages with and have smart running backs with Christian, be able to do it with multiple running backs, all of that's fine. All of that is awesome. The biggest thing for me is that it's a schematic issue. It's a body issue. You know, I understand that it was even in our best years when we were nasty in 2023, ridiculous in 2019. The 22 team was sick. All right. Even when we
that was
ran
all
the
on
ball,
the edges, though.
Come on, man. There you go. It was still off tackle.
Yeah.
So, you know, the run game.
That was more about Juice and Kittle than it was about our offensive line, I think.
Yeah, and we need some youth in the run game too. I don't know what's going on with Jordan James, but
so
look,
the thing that baffles me the most about because I think you're dead on. I mean, dead right about everything that you're saying. The thing that's even more baffling is if you take what you're saying into consideration, the 49ers. Okay, so they've said clearly that they prefer to use the premium picks on guys that catch the ball or hold the ball or run the ball. They want to use those picks on skill players. Okay, fine. They run the team, so we can't really do much about that. However, you can find body movers with good feet and a good brain in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round on the interior of the offensive line. The guys that you want to play, like Colton McKivitz, you can find him in the 5th round.
Yeah. So
I don't understand why, with the philosophy that they clearly have, they haven't spent more resources. Why have they have burned so many 3rd round picks on guys that did not make it to a 2nd contract? Like 10 of them. How many of those picks could have been used on a guard or a center? On premier guards and centers.
All right, man. I'm only laughing because I hate to do this to you.
The chat's going crazy.
You just made my argument for the next discussion built in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
You literally just said it all. But let's do it. I know you wanted to talk about this. So
yes.
The question right now is, do the 49ers get enough credit for developing players? When we talk about the 49ers, the conversation always starts with the stars and draft position, but rarely with development. This organization consistently turns mid-round picks, role players, and cast-offs into real contributors. From Brock Purdy to Juwan Jennings to defensive line depth pieces, the pattern is hard to ignore. The question is whether the league gives the 49ers credit for building players or only talks about them once they succeed elsewhere.
So I think the league gives them credit. I think all the people that talk about the league don't. And I think that, and a lot of that's not like national media. So here's the thing about the trend. Here's the track record of the 49ers.
Because you know I'm pushing back against this.
Oh, yes.
All right.
So here's the track record that I want to point out. Because they clearly have some draft issues in the top 50 and in the top 100. That's not arguable. They've had way too many misses to say that they draft well in the top 50, top 100. Here's what I mean by development. The 49ers have Everybody wants to talk about they found this guy, they found that guy. Diamador Lenore was developed. They didn't find some gem who was awesome. Fred Warner himself didn't think that he could play middle linebacker and had never worn a green dot and played a star position in college. He was developed by this team. George Kittle was not a pass threat at all at any point in time in his life, and he developed into a dual role tight end who is arguably the best in the game. Colton McKivitz got cut by this team. They had to develop him into a quality right tackle. I can go on and on down the list of the players who have not just gotten lucky. The 49ers didn't just, oh, look at this, they found a gem in the 5th round. No, they have consistently over and over again built this team on players that they have developed through the draft. And they do not get anywhere near enough credit for actually developing these players.
All right. So, look, man. Let's go through the first round picks alone.
So I knew you were going to do this.
You did this.
You can't really argue that early in the draft they've effed it up, dude. They spent 3 on a dude that played 4 games.
Listen, dog,
that's not the argument I'm making. That's not the argument I'm making.
I gave you a chance. It's time. It's draft time. The Niners are drafted. Let's get into it.
They have 4 first-round hits.
In
7 years.
Solomon Thomas, Mike McGlinchey, Nick Bosa, Javon Kinlaw, Trey Lance. 2022, no first-round pick. 23, 24, no first-round pick. 25, Mikael Williams, currently in IR right now. Second-round picks. No second-round pick in 2017.
How was he playing before he went to IR? Don't do that to me.
What you talking about? What you talking about? He's on IR, is he not?
He is on IR. He is on IR.
He's on IR. All right. So look, second-round picks. I'm going to get to a point as well. 2017, no second-round pick. 2018, Dante Pettis. 19, Deebo Samuel. 20, Brandon Ayuk wasn't a second-round pick.
No, he's a first-round pick. Yeah, 25th overall.
21, Aaron Banks.
Yep.
22, Drake Jackson. Remember Drake Jackson?
Oh, that was I was so happy when they drafted him. Do you remember how happy all of us were that he fell far enough for us to draft him? Out there doing backflips at 275 pounds?
I don't remember that. So third-round picks. 2017, Akello Weatherspoon. Fred Warner. Jalen Hurd. Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah. I'll fight over Jalen Hurd all day long.
Ambry, you'll fight over him?
Yeah.
For what?
Jalen Hurd would have been a game changer in this offense, was already showing incredible promise on the field, and got his neck broken in his second game. What do you want from the guy? Everybody constantly dumping on Jalen Hurd like he was some sort of terrible pick. He was a 3rd-round pick, not a 1st-round pick. He showed a ton of promise. He had only played 1 year at wide receiver. Everybody knew he was a little bit raw. He was trucking people. Every time he caught the ball, he was breaking tackles. He had credible hands. He was still developing as a route runner. And he got his neck broken preseason. What do you want from the guy? I'm just tired of people trampling on Jalen Hurd like he was some sorry player that didn't make the team because he wasn't good enough.
Stop it!
He got hurt.
Put your feelings in your pocket. What's the best ability?
I just don't like that people.
With me now.
I just don't like that people keep trampling on the kid.
What is the best
like he
ability?
Just sucked. I just don't like that. But people don't talk about it like that. Context matters. People talk about Jalen Hurd like he was a terrible draft pick because he sucked.
Don't make me play the music again. Don't make me play the music again.
Do it.
Say it with me now.
You won't.
What is the best ability? Say it with me.
Hands.
What is the best ability?
Speed.
Hello?
Availability.
Availability. There you go. All right. You ain't got no ability if you ain't available. I'm sorry. All of the exploits that you just went down are either in college or preseason. That ain't helping us.
Totally understand.
Okay?
The only
Look,
thing I have an issue with, it's not like he's
hold on.
Ricky
I don't want to
Pearsall
No,
with-
listen. This is what
Yeah.
you do. This is what
My
you
bad.
do.
You're right.
Respectfully.
I'm hammering.
What
You're
you
right.
like to do is you like to stick on one thing that I bring up and completely take over the whole debate. We're not going to
sticks.
We
It
ain't
sticks in my
wasting
craw.
this debate on no stinking ass Jalen Hurd.
That's a great
It's
point.
over.
Move on.
All right?
Move on. Let's move on. You're totally right.
We got to get to somebody much more important.
Yeah.
2021 Ambry Thomas. Remember that?
Yeah.
All right. How about Ty Davis Price?
Where was he
This is
drafted?
just the third round picks. All right. What I'm here to tell you, my man, is that you're looking at the development of the players, okay? Tariq Castro Fields, my God. Robert Bill Jr.
Sixth round,
Braden
fifth round.
Willis, Ronnie Bell, Jalen Graham. Come on, man. Remember Jarrett Kingston? The guy that we let go of?
The guy that's a starter in the NFL right now?
Yeah, we let go of him. Jacob Cowing, where's that guy? Isaac Garindo, Sky Moore's entered the chat. That's a wrap. Okay, Renardo Green.
My guy from Florida State.
Your guy?
My Florida State Seminole, bro. I'm gonna go in for my Seminoles. You know it every time.
Bro,
He needs to get
I'm
his
here-
shit together though. He's making me look bad.
I'm here to tell you that the Niners do develop guys that show promise in what the Niners give, right? As far as this is the enclave that we have. This is how our style of football. This is how we coach it up. This is how we do it. If you fit in and you thrive, you're a guy. If you don't, you don't. Oh, Danny Gray. Oh my God. I forgot about Danny Gray. Like, the dead bodies are all over the place for you, Damon. The dead bodies are everywhere.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. When it comes to developing
Tom
players,
with the bomb. Tom with the bomb. I'm sorry. My man, Tom Jensen. If you're a friend of the show, then you know. This is the OG of the channel, okay? The OG Tom says, the OG triple OG says, McGlinchey over Derwin James, Clinlaw over Wirfs, TDP over Kirby Joseph. The issue is talent evaluation. The music is killing me. Get him, Tom.
so
Get 'em.
first of all, Tom is entirely correct. Their biggest issue that this team has as an organization over this stretch, over this era, is definitely talent evaluation. And it's not just about the draft. Evaluating their own talent, what they expect to get for a guy, then they don't trade him and he leaves for nothing, has also been a glaring hole in the evaluation process of talent for this team. I totally understand that stuff. All I'm saying is this team gets no credit ever for developing players from all over the draft. They should get more credit. And there's one more thing that I'll point out because they get some credit for this, but they should get more. Look at the track record of players who are cast-offs from other teams and then are productive contributors on this team or more. Raheem Mostert, right? Cast off from 6 different teams, thrives with this team, so on and so forth. Now, how many players in the last 8 years have the 49ers cut that have went on to have successful careers elsewhere? Because they weren't good enough for our team.
Akello Weatherspoon.
There's only 2.
Akello
He was a
Weatherspoon
starter.
could
He
not.
was a starter for us.
He could not get it together. Akello Weatherspoon could not get it together with the Niners. He left, bounced around in the league.
That's right.
Before he got hurt, Akello Weatherspoon has put himself as one of the best, not one of the best, but one of the most respected corners in the league.
By who?
That's the truth.
I-
That's not facts.
So I okay,
Akello,
I don't know
hold
why
on.
you went to
Akello Weatherspoon did
should've
not
went to the
resurge his
other
career.
corner. You should have went to the other corner and DJ Reed.
I got something else for you.
Yeah.
I got something else for you. Emmanuel Mostert, when he left, was balling.
He got
Left here
hurt like 3 games in. He didn't even play the whole next season. Emmanuel Mosley went to Detroit and got hurt as soon as he got to the team.
No, not Emmanuel. Hold on.
Emmanuel Mosley.
He plays.
You said
he plays for the
Emmanuel
corner.
Mostert.
The corner. He plays the corner. The
Yeah,
corner. That
Emmanuel
plays for the
Mosley
Colts.
got signed.
That plays
He
for the
signed a
Colts.
Yes, he signed a 1-year deal with Detroit, got hurt immediately, and is a fringe starter for a team with one of the worst secondaries in football last year. Okay, let me
DeForest
simplify
Buckner.
this. Okay, so that's somebody we traded. That's not a cast off. That's a decision we made. It's a terrible decision, but that's not somebody that we cut because they're not good enough for our team. Mosley, yeah, Manuel Mosley. He went to Detroit, signed a 1-year deal with Detroit for $6 million, got hurt, and then eventually ended up on the Colts because their secondary is awful until literally this season. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you look at the track record of the 49ers over 8 years.
Hold on, they're getting you in the chat.
So DJ Reed got cut because he was injured, and they couldn't fit him to the 53-man roster. They tried to sneak him through waivers. The only other, Caden Smith, they got rid of. He went to the Giants and played like 4 games. DJ Reed got cut because of injury, not because we didn't think he was good enough. It was his rookie season.
I let him have it, Turndo. I let him have it.
Mosley was good for us. What's he done anywhere else? He was a borderline. Okay, here's the point that I'm making that everybody seems to be missing. He played way better for us than he did for any other team. Correct? He was a fringe Pro Bowl level corner for our team and has not been anything near that for anybody else. The track record of players from the defensive linemen, right? We have defensive linemen on this team right now. Keon White, cast off. Cleveland Farrell, cast off. Huff, cast off. We have other guys in our history like Arden Key, bust, cast off. He did pretty well for us. We also went and got a guy.
Wait a minute.
He had 8 sacks. He was a high-level contributor for our defense. He's never played that well anywhere else. We have a track record. Hold on, let me finish. We have a long track record of 15 to 20 players that were cast-offs on other teams that had career years playing for the 49ers. And if you go through the entire history, there's like 2 or 3 guys that the 49ers have cut that have gone on to have really good careers elsewhere. And how
about guys that they didn't retain, like Jordan Mason and DJ Jones?
What has Jordan Mason done this season?
I'm tripping. Are you asking me or are you telling me?
I'm asking. What has he done?
All right.
He's a backup. He's backup in Minnesota. He started for like 4 games and had 1 really good game when Aaron Jones went out. He's not the starter there either.
So you diminishing him? So he hasn't done anything since he left the Niners?
Not really.
Hating ass nigga. You about to get me in here talking, bro. You a hater, bro. You a hater, bro.
The only point I'm making is we have a clear track record of getting the best out of players. That's the only point I'm trying to make. And the list of players that have succeeded here after failing elsewhere.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Now
you
wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. Now you wait a minute.
Yes,
you. All right. Give me a chance, my brother.
What you got?
Let me tap in. What you're doing right now is looking at a track record of guys that we didn't draft. Okay, we're bringing in guys that you're calling bust from other teams. And these are guys that are having games. They're having periods of time with us that are good. Then they're picking up and going somewhere else, right? These are all pickups from somewhere else, all right? These are high draft pick players that have already been vetted out for height, weight, speed, and we're bringing them in and we're adding them into what we're already doing. This isn't necessarily picking up a guy from the root and developing him. So I'm not here to say that you're being disingenuous, but what I am here to say is that the word development is getting used in a lot of different scenarios and you trying to defend it. You're talking about guys coming in from other teams that have already been developed, all right? And they're coming over to our team to learn how to do it our way. That's not being developed. That's a different change of pace. That's a different scenery, all right? That's coming somewhere and being able to getting things added onto your game that somebody else has already put on. You see what I'm saying? So that's not developing anybody. We didn't develop Charles Omenihu. We didn't develop Arden Key. We didn't develop what's the other kid? Sam
Aquano?
Sam Aquano. Not Sam Aquano, the other kid. Ekubom. Whatever that kid's name. Yeah. So it's you can't say that these are the guys that we turned on and developed. I don't see it that way.
We didn't do their entire development, but we clearly continued their development, and most, if not all of those guys you just mentioned. And also the other teams were clearly not they were not developing them and as well, because we were able to get more out of them. Does that not say that we are doing a better job at getting the talent out of the player? Isn't that development when the guy's only 25 years old and you bring him in and he has a career year?
Developing somebody, but who the fuck are you developing at 25? He pay his own fucking taxes. He's 25. Develop 25?
You don't think that players develop from after 25?
Bro, what I'm saying is that bringing in a guy who already has been through like learning an NFL season, learning an NFL playbook, getting coached up. Like, hey, you about to take me to another, like, all I'm saying is that that's not developing. That's not the same guise of, we brought in, what's the kid from Georgia that we brought in? The 5-star kid that was supposed to be really good, the edge. We got him late.
Yeah, fifth round,
Robert Beal Jr.
Yeah.
Robert Beal Jr. coming of age is development, right? Kalia Davis has been developed.
Great one, yeah.
He's been developed, okay? But you can't say that if Huff came in here and got like 10 sacks that, coming into, he got developed by the Niners. No, he had to change the scene.
Huff is certainly a different situation.
Yeah,
we got more out of him than other teams did, but no, that's not a develop. When I say developing teams that are cast off from other players, when you look at a Charles Omenihu who couldn't get he literally got cast off by the other team because he wasn't producing, he wasn't developing. And he comes to our team, and in half a season, he develops into a player that is pivotal on our defense.
I'm sorry. I don't think that's true, because I think that you're also forgetting the element. I'm sorry for cutting you off as well.
No, you're good. You're good.
I don't think that that's true, because you're also missing the element of the money as well. A lot of these guys are getting moved because nobody wants to pay them that money juxtaposed to where they got drafted, their draft position, right? So nobody's going to pick up that option. They're going to try to get something for them before they have to pay them, right? So they're going to move on from them. But developing a guy that has
sorry, there's a comment that just somebody said, give this guy a David Lombardi turtleneck, and it's sorry, it just hit my funny bone, bro. It just hit my funny bone, bro. That's a good one. Durza one, that shit's funny.
all I'm saying
I'm sorry,
is
I didn't
that
mean to stop you, bro. I'm so sorry.
I don't see how we can get through like Cam Latu, bro. Like Jake Moody, he ain't even here anymore. Has Nick Zakelj been developed? Like,
okay,
come on, man.
Okay, so I think there's two things happening. One, I think that you and I disagree fundamentally on what should be considered developing a player and what shouldn't. And that's just kind of we'll have to agree to disagree there. And honestly, you know more about football. You've forgotten more than I'll ever learn. So
no,
I will have
don't
to
say that. That's not that. First of all, that's not true. And second of all, even if it was, that doesn't matter in this debate. We're having a one-on-one conversation. Like that's not.
So that's one I think we're just not going to agree on. We just see that differently. The thing that you're doing, though, that does throw me off a little is instead of acknowledging that the 49ers deserve credit for all the players they've developed, because I don't think you're arguing that they haven't developed a bunch of players. You're pointing to all the players they didn't develop. And if you look at the other teams around the league, if you look at the track record of how many players that they've drafted in the last 8 years, hundreds and hundreds, and how many have they developed, I bet you the 49ers are near the top of that list of players that they've developed internally over time, players that they've drafted from the first all the way through the 8th round, but especially in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. So every team is below 500 on developing players, way below. And the 49ers consistently develop players in the mid to late rounds in a way that is totally unprecedented. I've never seen a team consistently develop players out of the middle rounds ever. And I've been watching closely I love the draft in the offseason. I can't think of a single team that consistently develops players out of the middle and late rounds as well as the Niners. If they did draft well in the top 100, they would be a juggernaut like the league has never seen. like the league
I
has
don't
never
understand
seen.
why. Okay, so the Ravens, the Eagles, you haven't seen anybody
No, so
develop
there's
players in the.
okay, almost all of the players that you would point to that the Ravens and the Eagles have developed in the last 5 years are all they're all first, second, and third round picks. How many guys have they plucked from the fourth, fifth, and sixth round and developed, continued the development of the player? They
I don't
took
care
all
about that.
star.
Look, you
They
can trade
took
all that.
premium.
Listen,
They
you
took
can
premium
trade
picks.
all of that shit for hitting on your goddamn first round picks in your
Now
first
that's
three
now
picks.
that's somewhere I think
So
that
what you
we should
saying
probably
right
end
now?
on that
All of
because
that
we
is
totally
cute.
agree.
All of that is cute.
Yep.
Right now, you the chick at a gala, at the Met Gala, talking about you should check out this skirt that I got from Goodwill. It was a fine. Bitch, that ain't the time for this. You need to put on your goddamn gown.
I got you.
All right.
You got to put
now
on the
ain't
Jimmy
time
Choo.
to be showing off your thrifted camisole and shit. You need to be coming in here with Vera Wang on. All right. You got to be coming on with some shit. So that's all I'm saying is that right now, when you have this discussion with me, the only thing that comes to me is that resonates with me that you're saying is that the Niners are good thrifters. They're phenomenal with a good buy. They really know how to get a good bang for your buck. And that ain't the league, dog. That ain't the league.
I think the disappointing thing to me is I think that the reason that they miss on so many top 100 players is not because, as Terradome said, that they're bad evaluators. I'm sorry, as Tom Jensen said, that they're bad evaluators. I think it's bad process. I think the way that Kyle Shanahan goes about, because let's be honest, the guy picking those top 100 players, Kyle Shanahan just this last offseason was talking about how they basically had a vote for who they're going to pick, and they ended up with Nick Martin. They literally had a vote amongst everybody, and it was so close that they had to vote like 4 times. You think he's doing that with first-round draft picks? Hell no. Do you think he's letting anybody else pick the second-round draft picks? Hell no. The problem is they have a terrific process for drafting and developing talent and then developing them in the mid to late rounds, but they don't use the same process in the first 100 picks. That is the primary issue.
I love this comment right here. They lock in on assistant fit and draft him 1 and 2 rounds early.
They do that way too often.
And then the organization comes on the back end and drafts the guy that they really want, but at a lesser price.
Yes.
It's what we've been doing always. Hey, what do you got coming up for the rest of the week, brother?
So I'm going to try to get another pod drop this week because I was out for like 6 weeks with freaking system issues and technical difficulties. I had to record 3 times last night to get one podcast out because I had more technical difficulties. But we finally got one drop last night where I talk about some of this stuff as well, some of the unprecedented things that this regime has done. If y'all want to go check that out, it's on the Niner Narrative podcast on YouTube. Please give me a like. Please give me a sub. I'm trying to grow this thing up. But I will also be getting another video out this week. And then I will probably sneak into your call-in show and start some shit in the chat.
Hey, man, come in here the whole time. We got to babysit you guys. Do your thing.
Fuck them kids.
Hey.
Fuck the kids?
Fuck them. It is what it is. Hey, we got 3 Deep tomorrow with myself, Grant, and Jesse Naylor. Also, we got to get Faithful Review going back on time. I'm calling you tomorrow. Also, like you just mentioned, the call-in show is coming, and I'm super excited for the live watch show party that we're going to have at the end of the week versus the coach. This is the coach signing off. Stay low and keep your feet moving. Holla at you guys.